If you want a strategy that is safe, this is by far the safest strategy that I have ever done, and I still do to this day. It is one of my OG strategies that I have taught way back, and until this day, I love it. But yes, you will need a little more capital, but I truly think though this is a really nice strategy. All right, so it depends on the stock you do. For this type of strategy, I recommend any stock above $10 that you are willing to hold long term. Ideally, you want a stock that has an ETF or leverage, like Amazon. If you type in Amazon, right, they have the bull 2x, the 2x long and stuff like that. So if you look at Amazon, let's just look at this. You can look at any high quality stock that you would look to hold longer term if you get stuck in the stock. All right. So, for example, when Amazon gets to this lower band, you would look for entries to the buy side. All right. And the reason why this is such a good system is because you're using a 15-minute chart. Hitting this lower band on the 15-minute tells you how oversold it is, okay? This is the band strategy. But we don't just base our trades on just one time frame. So if we go back to this midnight price action here, 22.15, if we go to the 1-minute chart, you will see what? You also see a beautiful touch in coordinates with your 15-minute down in here. And so look at this monster gain that this has rallied. From all the way from this low to this high here, it went up way over 1.6%. Now, I recommend doing this with at least $10,000 and above. And let's just say this is how I do this strategy. So let's say we get a 15-minute touch right here. And I look to do a couple ads. So I do like $3,000 in here, right? Let's say it goes a little lower. All right, another three and another, just put them all in 4,000. So you have 10,000, whatever your size that you're willing to put in, that's what you're going to do. Now, worst case scenario, let's just say it's just absolutely terrible and it just keeps going down. Well, the nice thing about this strategy, these are the best companies in the world. They tend to what? Look at the daily chart, the weekly chart. They tend to keep going up. So buying the dips on the best companies in the world makes a whole lot of sense at a massive discount. So what you could do is next is you could do covered calls. So let's say you just want to reduce your average, you can do covered calls and reduce your average even more. All right. So that's a whole new lesson there. But there's so much benefits of buying the best companies in the world at this lower band on the 15-minute, but also use the 1 minute for precise entry. I make a ton of money on this because one, you don't need a stop loss. It's not one of those things like, oh, it went a little too farther down and it stops you out. No, these companies are trending up. Look at the massive gains these companies do. So it makes a whole lot of sense to get a good dip. I mean, look at Tesla. You can see sometimes, look at this. It goes hover up, but eventually everything will revert to mean. We're never shorting these stocks, though. We're always looking for price to be at the lower band. As you can see, we have no touch at the lower band. Also, another thing that I want you to take in mind is we never will play this strategy till around 10-ish. It has to be after 10 o'clock because right at the bell, price goes up and down pretty fast. It's a lot of volatility. It will tend to hit the bands. Let price digest the news. Wait till around that 10 o'clock and see. So Tesla's a very volatile one, but anytime you get that lower band touch, you better believe it. That is an extremely oversold pattern like right in here. And as you can see, it climbs all the way back up. I mean, this strategy works absolutely insane. Like right in here is your 10, and didn't quite get to the lower band. But you see how it's picky. There's always going to be a stock out there that is touching this lower band. If it's not Tesla, there might be another one. All right. So, but you can see how picky this strategy is. You're like, okay, yeah, got no touches. And then you have to always look at the 1 minute for a touch. Now, for example, look at this day here. This was a hard day, but let me show you where I would take the entries now on the 1 minute. So 11:13, we had a clear touch right down in here. We would trade it after 10 o'clock. So we'll put our line right in here. And then we're going to go to the 1 minute at 11:13. I'll show you how good this strategy is. So let's go back to 11:13 of November. This is when Tesla had a monster down move. But you see where I put that line. Even though the 15-minute is touching the lower band, is the 1 minute touching? Absolutely not. The 1 minute is not touching this lower band. So just because you have a 15-minute touch doesn't mean you get in right away. So we don't see the 15-minute touch was literally right here. We only wait till we see a 1 minute touch. And unfortunately, we never really got any 1 minute touch for an entry. We got close, but we never really got it. But you have to understand, all price action reverses mean. So you see right in here, 1 minute goes back to the 20, goes back down, goes back to the 20, goes back down, goes back to the, but eventually we are going to switch the trends and trend up, okay? But yeah, right in there was no 1 minute touch. You want to be picky. Just because you see that 15 minute doesn't mean you get in right away. Apple is a gorgeous one. If you ever see Apple at this lower band, it is an awesome trade. But it's not to say that this is perfect. It's just to say this is how you get monster dip opportunities and have a really high win ratio of, hey, let's say it don't work right away. No problem. We can go into options, and let's say you want to do 30 days out. Boom. Also, covered call. All you have to do is click on the option here. Make sure you are a seller, and then boom, you can sell the call option. And whatever premium you get, that lowers your average. So let's say I have Apple at, let's say I bought it here at 275, and it goes all the way down to 270, and I sell $5 of premium. Well, now my new average goes from 275 to 270. I have a whole video about that. But remember, when you're trading the best companies in the world, they tend to what? Keep going up. And you want to focus on stocks that are, that have ETFs. I think those are the best. Like all these companies right here have strong companies. I would focus on over $10. But just remember, you focus on a 15-minute touch. Anything past 10 is game. Ignore the first 30 minutes of the bell, and then use your 1 minute time frame to make sure you have a solid touch with time distance, and accumulate these dips. Don't just put it all in one dip. Like like I said, for example, if you have $10,000 and it touches on the 1 minute, and you put 3,000 in it, and it does it again, and it goes a little lower, you put another one, and then you put another, and then you hold it out, and then you adjust, like, okay, is this stock, because remember, everything reverses mean. So you wait for that 15-minute, let's say you're way down here on Apple, and then look, it reverts back to those EMAs. But when you get above those EMAs, like when you get above this 200, you start trending up. But if it just does not work as good, then then we go to the emergency route and we just sell cover calls to reduce our average till it comes back up a little bit. All right, and that's basically the purpose of this strategy. It's a low relaxed strategy where you don't have to be fast. You don't have to be like, oh, I gotta get out fast. No, you can hold these trades for quite some time because they're 15-minute charts. They're the best companies in the world. You know they're going to keep going up. You can scale in a worst case scenario, boom, you sell cover calls. There's so much things you can adjust with this strategy. It's so freaking golden. I like the 15-minute and 1 minute. I think that's my favorite. I mean, look at this gorgeous move right up in here you would have got. I mean, awesome move there. It's just awesome. You see this time and time again. Look at this NVIDIA, one of the best companies in the world. It reverts back to the mean, and then when it reverts back to the mean, it's still in a downtrend. It can keep going down, but you would have made your money with bigger size capital. I mean, look, this is a nice little game. If you have, a simple $10,000, that making 1% a day is not that hard with this strategy. All right, but you can see how consistent you are by following the bands and how price reacts to those bands. Okay, like even on the opposite, I would never short the best companies in the world, but you can say like, look at that. I mean, it's just over 10. So if you want the best discounts, this is how you do it. Okay, on the best companies in the world. All right, guys, I don't want to make this video too long. I just want to make this video out for you guys that wanted to learn a strategy that is less risk. You can hold for a while if you need to. And it makes you the most consistent money because you're trading the best companies in the world. You're doing stocks, so you don't have to worry about options. You don't have to worry about time decay and all that. It's such a great strategy. And this is what I do pretty much whenever I see these big bands getting touched on the best companies in the world. I just buy it out. And then I look for around that 1% return, scale some out, or whatever it is. I just scale some out, go break even, and see how much higher it goes. Like right up in here, you would be up over almost 2%, and your break even down here, your stop loss is way down here, and you just see how much higher this keeps going, right? So yeah, give this video a like, subscribe, comment. If you want to I'll put these out in my Discord if you want to see more, because I really think people should have some safe strategies too, like this, because everyone has different personalities. If you got a lot of money, let's say you have way more than 10 and you have 50,000, 100,000, this is going to make you a freaking ton of money. And this is where you should park your money, if anything, because you don't need to do options. You don't need to do small caps. This is what you should be doing. But if you want to join the Discord, click the link down below in the YouTube comments below and in the description. It'll say join the premium Discord for my alerts. It'll take you to this free chat landing page. Hit how to subscribe and hit day trade alerts. It's literally only 12 bucks a month, and you get access to day trade, swing trades, and my live streams every day, and then of course the education. I'll pile all the education videos you need to know in here. But I really love this strategy. I think it's absolutely my OG strategy. It's really good because a lot of people want to buy a dip at a discount, but how do you know if it's a discount? Well, use the 15-minute, and then the most important time frame is that 1 minute to give you a precise entry, and then accumulate it. Accumulate. There's nothing wrong with buying the dip on these and accumulating because the trends tend to keep going up. All right, I recommend this with any stock above $10. If you have less capital, I would do $10 and above. Look at the chart, see how it's performing. Isn't it an uptrend? Obviously, you can see on the daily chart, are we above the 200? That's the most easiest way to see if the chart's in an uptrend. All right, guys, thanks so much for watching this video. Give it a like, subscribe, comment, and I'll do more videos like this on how to make consistent money and just grow your account every day. All right, guys, peace out.